I can't keep this secret anymore. Her name is. For months, I've carried this secret like a storm trapped inside my chest. Every time I looked at her, every time she smiled in a room full of people who didn't know what I knew, I felt the weight grow heavier. I thought I could keep it buried forever, but tonight I can't. The truth burns too fiercely to stay hidden. Her name is Layla. It's a name I once whispered like a prayer. A name that still echoes through the walls of my memory. She wasn't supposed to be a part of my world. I wasn't supposed to notice her. But the first time I saw her, in that golden light outside the palace gates, everything changed. She was standing by the old fountain, her headscarf fluttering in the wind, her hands sketching something in a small notebook. I remember asking her what she was drawing, and she looked up at me with eyes that seemed to hold centuries of stories. "Dreams," she said softly. "I draw dreams before they disappear." That moment, it broke something open inside me. I was Sheikh Hamdan, the crowned prince, the poet, the man the world watched from afar. But with her, I wasn't royalty. I wasn't a symbol. I was just a man, captivated by a woman who didn't see a title, only a soul. Our worlds collided quietly, in libraries, hidden gardens, moonlit stables. Every meeting was a secret wrapped in danger. She told me about her love for the desert, the poetry of the wind, and how silence sometimes speaks louder than words. I told her things I never told anyone, about the loneliness of power, the cost of being seen but never truly known. But the closer we grew, the sharper reality became. A royal cannot love in shadows, not in Dubai, not in the eyes of tradition. The walls have ears, and soon whispers turned into warnings. My advisors began to ask questions. My father, the ruler, noticed my distraction. "You seem lost, my son," he said one night during dinner. And I was, lost between duty and desire. Layla knew before I did that the end was near. "You belong to the world," she told me, her voice trembling. "And I belong to the silence between your words." I tried to fight it. I promised her the impossible, that love would find a way through royal boundaries. But she smiled that sad, knowing smile and disappeared before dawn. No letter, no goodbye, just a single sketch left behind. The two of us standing beneath the desert moon, her hand reaching out as if frozen in time. Since then, every poem I've written hides her somewhere inside it. Every smile I give to the cameras carries a shadow of her memory. People say I look calm, that a ruler should not show emotion. But they don't know what it means to carry a secret love. I kept her name hidden for so long to protect her. From questions, from judgment, from the world that wouldn't understand. But I can't keep this secret anymore. Her name is Layla, and once she made a prince forget his crown. Never thought a single name could haunt me the way hers does. Me like a burning truth I couldn't let escape. But tonight, under this silent sky, I can't hold it in any longer. The world deserves to know what I've hidden, what my heart has been silently screaming for years. Her name is Layla. The story begins not in a palace, not in a ballroom, but in a quiet corner of Dubai's old city, where time moves slower and hearts speak louder. I was walking alone, escaping the noise of royal duties that had started to feel more like chains than crowns. That's when I saw her. a girl sitting beside an old fountain, sketching the horizon as if she was trying to capture the wind itself. There was something about her stillness that drew me closer. When she looked up, her eyes caught the sunset, deep, golden, and impossibly calm. "You draw?" I asked, trying not to sound like the crown prince everyone recognized. "I try," she smiled, "but the sky never stays still long enough." That was our beginning, simple, quiet, and dangerously unforgettable. Her laughter had a rhythm like poetry, and every time she spoke, I felt as though she was reading my unspoken thoughts. She didn't know who I was, or maybe she pretended not to. And I didn't correct her. For once, I wanted to be just a man. No guards, no titles, no expectations. We met again by accident, or maybe by destiny. It was late, the moon was high, and she was sketching the palace lights from across the water. I told her she shouldn't be out so late. She told me that beauty doesn't wait for permission. I didn't know whether to smile or to be scared, because she was right. The more I saw her, the harder it became to stay away. I began to send secret letters through a trusted friend, signed only with a small poem. She replied once saying, "Whoever you are, your words make the night feel alive." I fell in love before I even realized it. But love in my world is never just love. It's duty versus desire, rules versus dreams. Every secret meeting felt like walking on glass. My advisors started noticing my absences. My father questioned my late rides through the city. And every time he looked at me, I felt the lie tightening around my heart. I told Layla once, "If I tell you who I am, you might run away." She looked at me for a long moment and said, "Then don't tell me. Let me love the man, not the name." Her words broke me, and in the most beautiful way. But peace never lasts in the palace. Someone followed me one night, and everything changed. The secret that was once our sanctuary became a danger. I was warned. A prince could not be seen with a common girl. "You'll ruin your name," they said. But what they didn't understand was that she had already given meaning to my name. Layla disappeared soon after. No goodbye, no explanation. Just a folded piece of paper left behind with her final sketch. The two of us, standing beneath the moon, her hand reaching toward mine but never touching. I kept her secret to protect her, but every night I whisper her name into the wind. Years passed, yet the memory of Layla never faded. Her name still lived in the quiet spaces between my thoughts, in the soft pauses between my poems. I built walls of duty, buried myself in work, and let the world believe that I had moved on. But love, once real, does not die. It hides, waiting for the right silence to breathe again. It was during a royal charity event that fate decided to play its cruelest trick. I was standing among dignitaries and artists, nodding politely to speeches I barely heard, when a familiar voice drifted across the hall. It was soft, graceful, a voice that once read dreams aloud beneath the desert stars. My heart froze before my eyes even found her. Layla. She stood on the stage, dressed in a flowing ivory gown, presenting her art, a collection inspired by the unseen stories of the desert. Her hair was shorter now, her face quieter, matured by time and distance. But her eyes were still the same, deep, golden, and impossibly calm. For a moment, the room disappeared. It was just her and me again. The same unspoken connection burning through the years that had separated us. But when her gaze finally met mine, there was no recognition, or perhaps there was, and she chose to hide it. She smiled politely, bowed slightly, and continued her presentation as if I were a stranger. That smile hurt more than any goodbye ever could. After the event, I couldn't stop myself. I followed her to the courtyard, where the night air was, heavy with the scent of jasmine. "Layla," I said softly. She froze, then turned slowly. For a heartbeat, her mask fell. The calmness vanished. Replaced by a flash of emotion she quickly buried. "Your Highness?" she said formally. The title hit me like a wall between us. "Don't call me that," I whispered. "Not you." She looked away, her voice steady but her hands trembling. "The world calls you that, and I must too. The past was another lifetime." I took a step closer. "Did that lifetime mean nothing to you?" She laughed quietly, though her eyes glistened with tears. "It meant everything, but meaning isn't always enough. You were born to belong to the world. I was born to stand outside its gates. I wanted to tell her that I still loved her, that I had never stopped." But before I could speak, her assistant appeared, reminding her of another engagement. She gave me one last look, the kind that carried both love and farewell, then turned and walked away. The next morning, a sealed envelope was delivered to my office. No name, no seal, just a sketch inside. It was of the same old fountain where we first met, but this time there was only one figure sitting beside it. Me. Alone. Beneath the drawing, she had written, "Some stories are meant to be remembered, not relived." I sat there for hours, staring at that piece of paper until dawn. For the first time in years, I understood. Love doesn't always end with togetherness. Sometimes its power lies in the ache it leaves behind. I didn't chase her.